Hi, everybody. You all are welcome to the. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. You all are welcome to the first episode of my live classes. Now, call me Mo. I am a business owner and I also share content on YouTube and other platforms on how to start your own business and or how to learn or use certain tools. I'd say that most of the things I'm going to teach you today are things that I actually taught myself. I am highly a creative person, so to learn these things is pretty something that is pretty easy for me to learn. And so to everyone who will be joining today, you all are welcome. Let me know where you're joining from. I'm based in the United States of America, and so let me know where you are joining from. And if you find these teachings and this video useful, let me know. Also, this is an interactive class. If you have any questions, leave your questions in the comments below. I will be more than happy to respond to all of your questions. And today being the first time having this class, I'm just going to do something pretty simple. And as the classes progress, we would do other complicated things. In addition to what I'm about to say, um, these classes are entirely free and they would hold on a weekly basis. So Mondays by 1 p.m. MST, that should be around 9 p.m. in some jurisdictions. And that should be around, say, 4 p.m. in some states in America. But if you can schedule your time and see whether the timing works for you, that would definitely be okay. Additionally, I'm also going to have these live events just for 1 hour. Each classes are going to run for 1 hour. Every other thing that we have outstanding will run the next week. But I will try as much as possible to ensure that the teachings that you would have here are going to be in-depth teachings and they are absolutely for free. For those who might not be able to join the live events, I would say that you can have access to the full course on the course tab of my YouTube page. So all you need to do, once this is saved and once it is made public, after this is done, you can check it out, on my course tab on YouTube. So everyone who's joining, you're absolutely welcome. Let me know where you're joining from. So like I said, before people joined in, the classes are definitely going to be free. I'm trying my best to try as much as possible to ensure that you would enjoy an in-depth analysis of everything I'm going to teach here. And I'm going to be making products. I'm going to teach you how to make products for free so that you can go ahead, turn them into money for yourselves and perhaps other loved ones. I'm also going to be teaching you how to start out on certain online platforms. Currently, I do have my business on different shops on social media. I currently have in the US, currently, I run about 2 businesses in the US. And then outside of the US, I have other businesses outside of the US. So what I'm going to be teaching you here in the US is to make products, how to also source your products, the kind of products that you can sell, and how to start out on those platforms. So for today, it's just the first time I'm taking this class for today. So I'm going to start with pretty simple products that you can make. And then by next week, I would show you how you can create the different platforms you want to start to sell these products on. And I also am going to add that these products aren't limited to the United States. So even if you're outside of the United States and you're looking for ways to create this simple product, I'll also show you how to create it. So for today, I'm only going to be doing creation. And because you know that Valentine's Day is around the corner, I'm thinking of something pretty simple. And then as this courses progresses, we'll do much more. For those who are just joining, I want to say thank you so much for joining. Make this class as interactive as possible. It's going to run for an hour. I started by 1 p.m. and by 2 p.m. MST, I will be done. That means I have 56 minutes left with you for today's class. Now, these classes are going to be running on a weekly basis. Monday is 1 p.m. MST. And if you think it's something that you're learning something from, that'll be fantastic. I'll be more than happy that you're learning one or two things from these classes. Now, I'm going to begin with what I'm going to do today, and this is the class is titled Let's Learn How To. It's a Let's Learn How To class, so we can learn about so many things. But most importantly, these things are going to be beneficial for us going forward. So, what are we going to learn today? We are going to be learning how to make um, certain digital products. Um, Particularly now, the things we're going to learn on these classes are 100%. One thing I want to say is that this class is 100% online learning platform, online learning class. If you are unable to watch or you're unable to be a part of it, I will have, once the video is available, I'll make it available on the course tab um, of my YouTube channel, so you can watch it as a whole course, a course without you having to pay anything. And then what are the things that you're going to learn? You're going to learn how to You're going to learn real-time step-by-step process on how to create digital products and do other things. So that's what I said earlier. So for today, I'm going to show you how to make greeting cards. I know that a lot of us, and greeting cards are cards that they are things that are an essential in every house. I think whole household in the world. Please, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I think that everybody celebrates one thing or the other. If you're not celebrating birthdays, you're celebrating anniversaries. And we do have Valentine's Day in about a week or in about 2 weeks. So everybody celebrates one thing or the other. And that's why I thought of, okay, let me make greeting cards as a first product that people can use or people can make. And then when you make them, you can also sell them. Um, However, I'm only going to be talking about how to make the greeting cards in these classes. I know that Valentine's Day is just about 2 weeks away. We'll be having another class next week, but I'll just give a glimpse of where you can sell these cards and how you can even sell them, even without selling them online in digital form. And so in this class, you're going to learn designs, you're going to learn dimensions, you're going to learn about tools you can use. And then you're also going to learn how to sell. And then you're also going to learn the platforms. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, after this class, I have my email. You can reach out at litavision.com. I'll leave all the details in the community tab after all of this. But you can always reach out if you have questions. I'll be more than willing to respond to all of your questions. Again, like I said, this class is meant to be in depth. So I'm not going to hide any information. I'll give you what you need to get so that you can create this product and start making money. Everybody wants to make money every day. And in as much as we all are growing, we also want to learn and help one another. So, like I said, these are the things you're going to learn. So, going forward, like I said, let's make our greeting cards. You're going to learn the design, you're going to learn dimensions, and you're going to learn tools to use. You're going to learn how to sell, and you're also going to learn the platforms that you can use. So, today I'm going to be making the greeting cards on Canva. Now, I'll also have to mention that Canva is not a sponsor of this class. So it is not created for the purpose of, let's say, advertisement purpose. This is a tool I use all the time, and I use some other tools as well. But I use Canva a lot because I find it really useful, and it's also something that anybody can learn how to use. So, for instance, if you happen to be an older person, Canva is a perfect tool for you to be able to just easily edit things because you have templates that you can use to create documents. And particularly if you are starting as a business, as a small business, for instance, with Canva, you can create all of your branding products with Canva. You don't have to go on the outside or seek extra, say, expertise of someone else to help you make settings, except if you want a particular kind of design that you know that you can't create yourself. But for the basics, Canva helps you. With Canva, you can start with your logo creation. You can also make your complimentary cards. You can make all your stickers and all of the things that you know you use for the branding of your business. But today is not for branding. I will talk about that much later. Today is to learn how to make greeting cards. And so For the greeting cards, there are two steps that you need to learn. We have step one, making the designs, and then the step two is making the cards itself. I did say something about dimensions. Dimensions are very, very important. Understanding dimensions is very important when you want to make your designs. If you know that once you are sure of the measurement of the cards or the designs you want to make, it makes your designs easier. So first thing, you have to understand how to have your dimensions correctly. You also have to understand how you intend, you know, how you intend creating your designs, what type of designs you're looking for, and what is your target audience. So for instance, today I said we're going to make greeting cards. I was not specific about the type of card. So if for instance you want to make birthday cards, or you want to make Valentine's Day cards, or Christmas cards for instance, you might have a target audience in mind. For instance, let's say you want to make Valentine's Day cards. Now the target audience might just be making Valentine's Day cards for children, because everybody loves to I believe that everybody loves to celebrate Valentine's Day. Or perhaps you could decide to make Valentine's cards for women or men. So understand your target audience. Once you understand your target audience, you will now be able to tailor that design based on what you want to give or make for your target audience. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, you go with the dimensions. Now, a number of us, including myself, when I started designing, I had issues with dimensions. How do I measure this? How do I measure that? But thank God we do have tools that can help us determine these dimensions. So for instance, the best dimensions to use for greeting cards is usually 5x7, because that's the most common greeting cards that size of greeting cards you always get, 5x7. That does not mean that you can't make something bigger than that. So you can do something way bigger than that size, but know the dimension or the type of cards that you want to do. And Canva has a fantastic tool that will help you with the creation of those designs. So for instance, when you go into Canva, I'm currently in Canva, the first icon you find here is customize size. And you have the part where the part where you'd enter the details of the size. Now, cards are usually measured in inches. So what you want to do is to go on the inches size and then enter a 5x7. And so I've entered a 5x7 size for my design, and this is what I have: a 5x7 for my design. And when I'm going to start this design now, you see what is going to come out of it. So like I said, the first thing you want to do, you want to be sure of the dimensions. So this is a 5x7 design dimension on Canva. Now, the second thing you want to also now do is, because you already know who your target audience is, and because you already know how you're going to go about it, you also ought to have considered where to get maybe the elements that is going to make up that design, or perhaps you want to go with AI. Thank God that AI tools are readily available these days, and you can always have them and use them to create multiple designs as you want. But then I'll usually say the bit of a downside to that is, when it comes to designs, you have situations where AI designs are not absolutely owned by you. Why? Because most of the terms I have read from these AI tools and their platforms, that the platforms that offer them, is that it doesn't give you exclusivity in copyright ownership. So the tendencies that somebody else might be able to enter almost the same prompt as you entered and generate an identical image is pretty high, and you can't claim copyright over it. So that's one thing you have to know. Even though the terms specifically state in most cases, particularly with the ones I use, that you can have rights to use them. However, the ownership, the copyrights to that is not solely entirely to you, because somebody else might enter prompts that are similar to yours and then have a result that is really close to your design. So what you want to do is to be try as much as possible to use your AI tools to create the designs that you want, or elements you want to be a part of your cards. That way you can also now add some dexterity or add some level of creativity to give you that uniqueness that you want. So having said all of that, the next thing you also want to do is Like I said, I have the 5x7 dimension for the cards. Now we want to now see how we can begin the designs. I did mention earlier that you could decide to I did mention earlier that you could decide to go on, you can decide to create your designs directly and completely from Canva. But you could also decide to use other AI tools. But for the purpose of this class, I'm going to be using Canva alone. I'll start the process and end it on Canva. So if you want to create a greeting card on Canva, it's easy. So now we have a 5x7 size that I have created. Now, when you want to go on Canva, you want to get the elements to use, you just look at the left hand side, the tab on the left hand side where you have elements. You click on elements and you can have so many things. So let's assume that you want to make a greeting card or a Valentine's Day card for that is oh, thank you so much for the likes. Hello, Akim. I see you, Akim. Thank you. If you have any questions, leave your questions in the comments. So let's assume that you want to make, say, a simple Valentine's Day card that doesn't have a specific, that is not specific to any person. Oh, you're welcome. Leave your questions and comments. I'll be more than happy to respond to you. And your cards are not specific to any person or gender. You want to just make a generic greeting card, for instance. And by the way, Akim, thank you. The class is totally for free. This is a class where we teach how to do things and you learn for free. Oh, I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're doing great too. So if you have a questions, leave your questions in the comments. So now let's just say that we want to make a generic card that is not specific to anybody, just a Valentine's Day card. So what do? We can go on to the elements, which is what I have done here, the Canva elements here, then go on and type in, say, hearts. Hearts are elements that are representative for, let's say, Valentine's Day. So we see several kind of hearts that are here. We could have this. You click on that, that comes on the screen. If you want to duplicate this, duplication on Canva is pretty easy. All you need to do is to click on the three dots just beside you, and then you see the icons that'll just fall, by the side. You scroll down and you can click on duplication. So what we are doing is simple heart art inspired Valentine's Day cards, and that's all we are doing for today. We click on that, we duplicate as much as we want, and then we can keep duplicating. Duplication is easy, and I said something earlier that Canva is a pretty simple tool to use, and it's something that anyone. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akim. Thank you. Like I said, anyone can use Canva regardless of your age. It's pretty easy. So that's why it's a tool I'm choosing to use. Like I said again, Canva, this is not intended as a form of advert for Canva, please. So, but of course you can, it's fantastic. It's a very, very easy tool to use, particularly if you're just learning designing. So again, it's not just about pasting and duplicating elements. Again, designing comes to some level of you being creative as well. So you could decide to be very creative with these, say, with these cards. You can decide to be that person who wants simplicity. Some people just like simple things. And so if you're a creative person, we can also say, let's minimize this, let's make it smaller. Let's just make a card that will be smaller. And then when you do this, we can also duplicate this again and then move it around. Just apply some dexterity or creativity. The thing about creativity is creativity doesn't have any boundaries. It allows you to express yourself in the best way possible. So let's see this as well. We can still duplicate this and then move it howsoever we want. It's a pretty simple step just to let you see what you can create. Now, before I go further, I have to say something. With Canva, you could either use the free version or the pro version. Now, with the free version, you have access to elements that you can use for free without any copyright issues. Now, with Canva, There are some elements you can't use, particularly if what you're creating, you intend selling that thing or you intend making money off it. If you decided to use those elements, your products, so to speak, will be flagged. So what you want to be sure of is that whatever elements you are using, you have the right to be able to use those elements so that those elements can be used on your products and then sold. Then again, those elements are not meant to be used in their original form. So even though those elements, particularly if you're on the pro plan and you have elements that you can't use them in their original form and then put them on products and sell. You have to refine them in a way, but you can have a combination of those elements to make something new. For me, I try to play it safe. I like to, because I am very particular about intellectual property rights and copyrights and the likes. I'm very particular about it. So what I try to do in most cases is to ensure that I'm not infringing on anybody's copyright. And so whatever elements I'm using, I can add some creativity to the elements and then make it my own. So that's the whole essence. But you could decide to use free elements on Canva. But if you really want to enjoy the essence of Canva, it's really, really better to have the paid version. And the paid version comes in so many forms. You have the Pro and the other ones. The Pro is also really good. Well, if you are a solopreneur or you're just one person, you do not have a team, then the Pro is ideal for you. And it is less than, I think, less than $30 per month. So you should be able to use it. So okay, so I have these designs. I'm just going to create something more. Again, don't forget that you are not limited to the kind of designs you want to make. You can just apply some level of creativity to what you are making. So I'm just going to cover all of this with hearts and let's see how it's going to turn out. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave your questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you, Hakeem. I see you, Hakeem. Thank you. So if you have any questions, leave your questions. So these cards are pretty simple cards and you can sell them in either of two forms. I'm going to get to that shortly. I'm almost 30 minutes in these classes and I only have an hour. So I'm going to try as much as possible to complete this in the best way possible. And if you are, then we can decide to make them in different sizes anyway. So I hope you can see it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave your questions in the comments, please. Thank you. So you can decide to just make the hearts in different sizes. So like I said, you can also decide to use an image for this. Another, not just elements, you can decide to use images. But these are not things I'm going to teach today because Canva has so many tools that you can use that will make you really love creating if you are that person who loves to create. So it has a lot of tools that you can use. So I'm just creating something random, something not so serious, and I'm just going to create it in something simple. So if you have any questions whilst you're here, feel free to leave your questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I like the duplication feature on Canva because with duplication, I don't have to stress myself with I don't have to stress myself with having to do too much. So it's pretty simple and easy. So to everyone who is here, thank you so much. Let me know where you're joining from. So we're just going to try to make this as simple as possible. So you can move it however you want. Canva is a pretty simple tool you can use. So if you're that person who is just starting out and you're looking for how to make certain designs, this might be a simple tool that will help you. So like I said, we're just making something random. Or so my intention is to have this cover the entire card. So the whole intention is not to just have it as just something simple. I'm just showing you how we can use elements to create a whole new design by duplication and you are good to go. So maybe I'm going to remove the small ones. I don't really like how they are looking. I don't want it to be too complicated. I want it to be simple and not too complicated. Okay. So if you have any questions, leave your questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So because this class is going to be, then another thing you can do, you can also change direction. You can turn it however you want. You can turn it into 100 degrees, 200 degrees. The rotation is really good on Canva. I hope you can see it. If you have questions, just let me know. So rotation is really good on Canva. So you just want something pretty simple. And then you can, like I said, concept is very important. You can start with something really short, really small, and then as your design progresses, it grows into something bigger. So let's just duplicate this as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave your questions in the comments. So let's see how our design is going. I'm going to delete this. You can even duplicate. Duplication can even be this way. Just click on something there and then you are duplicating. Then this could be bigger. Let's duplicate this and then move this one to the side. Duplicate this. And I think we're almost done with covering these cards with hearts. And maybe something bigger. Make this bigger and then move it. No, I don't want this. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave your questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, so we are going to cut this. I don't want it to overlap too much. Make them smaller, and then you just keep duplicating until we have the entirety of the place covered. So like I said, this is just a rough way to use simple elements on Canva to make a simple design. So we can just have a card that is covered by hearts, just something this simple. So like I said, your level of creativity on what you want to do is largely dependent on how far you want to go. So this is just a simple card that is covered by hearts. If I saw this, I'll be happy. I'll say, would this represent Valentine's Day? I might not even have to write anything on it to say Valentine's Day. So let's assume that I want to make something simple, or I want to put a Valentine's Day indication on here, and I would say Happy Valentine's Day. Let's just say. So I'd say what I would do is I'll go back into my elements. I'll look for, say, let's say, I'll look for something, no, I won't use this. I'll look for something like splash, let's say splash, splash element. So I have elements. I just want to be, you know, oh, you will be fine. Don't worry, you'll be fine for Valentine's Day. So I'm just looking for a splash element now. Okay, let me see if I can use a red colored splash element. You see the options that we have. So let me see if this is too much for it. You just want to be sure of the one that goes with what your design is. You know what your design is all about. I don't want to use art because I have the background of this in form of art. I'm also going to show you how you can change the background colors of your page. So like I said, this is not a real Valentine's Day card, but just something that just to show you how you can create these products of Canva. So let me look for something that's, no, this is a strawberry. I'm looking for something that I can use now. Let's see how I can make this. Okay, like this is a wine splash. Like this is a wine splash. Everybody loves wine on Valentine's Day. So I have a wine splash image here. And don't forget that this is a combination of the elements on the elements of the heart element, and then I have a wine splash. And then on here, I want to write Happy Valentine's Day. So I go to my text tab on Canva and I first of all see the options that are available. So if you're on Canva Pro, you get to see all of these options that are available for you to use, and then you can decide to use any of the fonts that is available here, because it is something romantic. Valentine's Day is a romantic day, so I want to use something that a font that is simple and romantic. Now, by the way, this is the front of the card, of the Valentine's Day card. So let's see something. Let's look for a font that is romantic, not something that's too serious. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this front font. Again, you can always rotate your fonts. Let's just say Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. And also you could decide to reduce the size of the fonts, and you can just decide to play around with this. You could also decide to change the color. Just go to the color tab here. I hope you can see it. Then you would be able to change the colors. So you could decide to use this font. I'm going to leave the font at say, let me say 48, and then you can decide to change it as well. So it's a pretty simple way, just so that the API can be bolder. Let's try to see something that is let's try something that could be, let's try this thing. No, this is too big. Yeah, it's too big. We want something that is playful and is not too, now. Okay, this, I think this is better. We have this API. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to I'm going to increase the size of this image so that it covers, and then I can reduce this a bit. So this is happy, and then I want to say something else that I can use to write my Valentine's Day. So it might not be a romantic font, but it might just be something simple as well. So let me check another font that is usable. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to leave your questions in the comments. Let me see another font that is usable now. I want something romantic, so something that just speaks the beauty of Valentine's Day. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I'll just do this with an exclamation. So happy Valentine's with an exclamation. I'm going to delete the one I have above here, and then reduce this. So again, I'm going to just rotate this so it fits into what I want. Yeah, so I'll change the color from blue to white again. I just want something simple. This happy, I'm going to move happy, reduce the size of happy, and then have Valentine's. Although this might look really busy, it looks, I also believe that it's not your regular Valentine's Day card. So for me, again, it all depends on the vision you want for your designs. You don't want something that is what everybody's going to do. For me, this design represents wine. I think Valentine's Day comes with a lot of wine. Hi, see you, Milton. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Milton. So I think that Valentine's Day, with Valentine's, a lot of people have wine on Valentine's Day, and then you also have the hearts. So let's say this is the front of our card. Now we want to do the back of the card. What you want to also do is what I try to do, and I think the easiest way for you to handle this is to make all of your designs in one row. So don't make the front and then go back and then do the back. So I'm just going to continue with the back. So what do you want to do with the back? The back is the same dimensions with the front, but we want something that is not something that shows you've done some designs on your card. And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to change the background. So let me go to elements and see if I can find some red backgrounds. So I don't want to have something that's too red. So I might decide to look for something patterned. Let me look for something patterned. And then I can decide to also make the colors a bit lighter, or have something close to white. This might be ugly, so let me look for something else. Let's see beige or white background. Since the background of the front is totally white. Oh, you like it. I see you. Or we can just decide to do something. Okay, so because I'm thinking that this card can either be sold as a digital product and or a physical product. So let's assume you want to sell as a digital product. So let's do something fun, not just something simple. So let's just have this. And so what you can do is to have you can set the entire image as a background, or you could decide to delete it, or just go with something really simple. So what I'm going to do is just have a line up here, rotate this, yeah, rotate this, push it here, and then remember the hearts that we used earlier. I'm going to go back to it and then use it for, so I go back to my recently used icons. I go back to this and then put it here, make it smaller, and then add my name. So okay, so Milton, I don't understand what you're trying to say. I don't understand what you're saying, Milton. I hope you're okay. So this is what we have. So what you want to do is to add your name. So you could decide to add your name. Go back to the text icon and then scroll up and put up the text. So I'm going to add my name here. Now your name should be your business name, your logo. So I'm just going to add mine here. So you want to be sure that you are the one that made you want to ensure that you have something that shows that you made this yourself. And so you can also change the font. I like to use a simpler font when I write names here. So you can have all that. Other times I like to make it more flowery. So you could decide to make it more flowery. Let's look for something like Brittany, and then we are good. So just move it closer, and then you have the front and then the back of your cards. So we are done with the design of the cards. We have both the front and the back of the cards. So this is the front of the cards. You have Happy Valentine's for the front, and then we have the back of the cards. So this is just the first part of the creation. It's not complete yet. So this is the first part of the creation and it is not complete yet. So next thing you want to also now see is how you can now create the cards itself. Now these are just the first parts that you want to have, and then before you now create the cards itself. Okay, I think I have about 22 minutes more, so I'm going to just quickly do this. Now when you're in Canva, what you want to now do with these is to download them separately. You are going to download them as PNG files. So when you download them as PNG files, we are going to re-upload them so that the cards can now be created. So I'm going to download here. You just click on your share icon. You click on download. You click on PNG. You have to print, and we have to download them as independent files. So I have 2 pages here. So what I'm going to do is to click on those pages, deselect, and just select page 1. You want to name your your card happy. Mine is happy Valentine's front. I'll say happy Valentine. So I'm going to put that on my download folder, and then that's done. And then the second one is I'm going to print this as I'm going to download this as well. Go back to the share page. I'm going to click on download, deselect, and select page 2, and I'm going to download that. So we are almost at the final spot of this video. So I'll say happy Valentine's front back. So now that we have downloaded our 5x7 size designs, thank you so much for the likes. This is the next thing we want to do. We now want to make the card proper. No. So I'm going to open another tab on how to create the cards. So we go to customize dimensions. For this, I'll use 11 by 8 inches, 11 by 8.5. So let's see. Now, this is dimension I'm going to use for the card measurement. Then I'm going to show you how you will make it. So what we want to do is, because this is the entirety of the card, and when you have your card prepared, you also want a situation where you can easily, when you print out your cards, it looks like a front and the back. So if you are printing out as a hard copy, you can easily fold it into front and back. So this side of the card will be for the front, and this side of the card will be for the back. So this is first I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do the measurements so that the card fits perfectly. So I'm going to go to my ruler first and then measure this as a 5.5. Let me leave it at a 5.5. So I have two equal halves of the card. I have two equal halves of the card. So I'm going to now go back to upload my images, the images I decided to download the first time. So I have a happy Valentine's now. I'm downloading, and then let me hold this. So I'm uploading both. So what do I do next? I want to now add these designs to both sides. I'm going to start with the front. This is the front of the card. I'm going to resize it the way I want to. This comes as an image for the card. So I resize the card the way I want to, the design rather, the way I want to. And this is the front. And then I do the same for the back. I do the same for the back. No, stop this. I don't know what's always wrong with Canva sometimes. Okay, so I do the same for the back. So it's just a rough sketch to show you how you can easily make designs with Canva. This is a simple card design that you can easily make for Canva. You could also decide to get rid of this. I can decide to just edit this and get rid of this. So you have the front and then you have the back. When your card is closed, you have it as a front and back. Now, this is where I'm going to stop, but I'm going to just say a few things because I did mention that I'm going to tell you how you can sell this. Now, for these cards or for any other greeting cards you decide to create, you could decide to make them as digital products and or physical products. Now your digital products could easily be, say, you selling this on stores that allow you to sell digital products. For instance, you can sell on Etsy. I do have my store on Etsy. You can check it out on the link. And then if you feel so inclined to, check it out, I have a link to my bio. So you can always check out the store for some of our products. Even though I've not had it, I've not had it Valentine's Day digital products, but you can always sell on stores like Etsy and also have a stand store and other stores that do sell, physical products, and you can always digital products rather. You can always check those stores out and then use those stores to sell your digital products. In another class, I will show you how to download your digital product, how to create mock-up listings for your digital product on these platforms where you can sell your product. But for now, this is where I'm going to stop. Now, if you decided that you want to print this and you just want to make something hard copy, let me show you how it's easy to print. So all you need to do is to click on the share button, download. It's really going to be better for you to print to download as a PDF standard or PDF printing, most preferably. Now, PDF printing is easier. Why? Because by the time you print, it helps with the quality of your product. Another thing you can also do is to adjust, let me go back. Another thing you can also do is to adjust the size and the quality of what you are printing. So like I said, I'm printing as a PDF print so that when I print this, it's easier. I think I'm also going to make this a CMYK, best of professional printing option, so that when you print out either at the print house or you use your own printer, the house outcome of this is fantastic. So you can decide to, once you're done, you can decide to just print out several copies. Ensure that your printer is within the dimension of your cards as well. So you don't want a printer, you don't want the setting of your printer to be outside of the dimension. So you want to be sure of the dimensions as well before you now print. So that's about it. This is how to create a simple greeting cards, and you can replicate this for other sort of greeting cards, whether you're making birthday cards or any other sort of greeting cards. You can always replicate this. So I hope that you have learned something. I did say earlier that you can also decide not to use just elements. You could use images as well. So for instance, if we had the image of the person you want to make the card for, probably the person is a man or a woman, you can always add the image as the front of the card. Or even if it's a picture of the person, you can just have the picture of the person as the front of the card and then make it a customizable card for them. I hope that you have learned something today. I think I'm done. I was not even expecting to be done this quick. Oh, you're very welcome, Akim. Thank you so much to everyone who did join. The classes usually run every week, so you can join next week. That'll be fine if you have the time. The same time, we'll be learning something new. And if I have to change the time, I'll also let you know. So to everyone who did join, I want to say thank you so much. I hope your day is going well, and I hope that your day is going well wherever you are. I hope you learned something new today. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye bye.